Imagine being 29 years old and receiving an email that changes everything. You read the salary offer once, twice, and then a third time, $200,000 per year. Your heart races, and for a moment you just stare at the screen, realizing this is the breakthrough you've been working toward your entire life. You call your mom, and before you even finish telling her, she's crying. Memories of childhood hardships, months when the electricity was shut off, dinners by candlelight, and parents whispering about bills, flash through your mind. Seeing $200,000 feels like freedom, like you've finally escaped the cycle of financial struggle. At night, lying in bed, you do the math. $200,000 divided by 12 is over $16,000 every month. You laugh, feeling rich for the first time. It seems like you've finally made it. But what you don't realize is that 3 years later, despite earning more money than anyone in your family ever has, you'll have less than $7,000 to show for it. The shock is real, and you won't understand how it happened. The journey from excitement to confusion is just beginning, and the reality of high income versus actual wealth starts to unfold. First paycheck hits your account, and you open your banking app in the parking garage. Over $9,000 is deposited. You smile, even though taxes, health insurance, and retirement contributions took a chunk. $9,000 is still more money than you've ever seen at once. This is when the lifestyle upgrade begins, not because you're reckless, but because you're normal. The excitement of newfound wealth leads to decisions that feel justified and reasonable, setting the stage for what comes next. A week later, you're touring luxury apartments. The leasing agent shows you a high-rise downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows, a rooftop pool, and a fitness center. The rent is $3,200 per month, but you don't hesitate. After all, you make $200,000 a year. The allure of Instagram-worthy living spaces is strong, and you feel justified in upgrading your lifestyle. The decision feels natural, and you move forward with confidence, believing you're making the right choice. Next comes the car. Your old Honda still runs perfectly, but parked between Teslas and BMWs in the company garage, it suddenly feels out of place. The dealership makes everything easy, a few signatures, a few taps on a screen, and you're driving home with an $840 monthly payment plus insurance. You feel successful, like you've finally made it. The upgrade is not just about transportation, it's about fitting in and feeling accomplished among your peers. The real danger begins, not with big expenses, but with small ones. DoorDash after a long day, coffee on the way to work, forgot subscriptions, weekend trips, flights to weddings, happy hours, and convenience purchases. Nothing crazy or irresponsible, just hundreds of tiny decisions. Each one feels reasonable and forgettable, but together they add up. Months turn into years, paychecks keep arriving, and spending continues. Life feels comfortable, but the financial reality is hidden beneath the surface. One Friday afternoon, everything changes. The company announces layoffs, and the email arrives at 4:47 p.m. You survive, but the guy 2 desks away doesn't. You watch him pack his belongings into a cardboard box. For the first time since receiving that $200,000 offer, you feel something you haven't felt in years: fear. The stability you thought you had is suddenly shaken, and you realize how vulnerable you are despite your high income. At night, you open a spreadsheet telling yourself you're just curious, but deep down you know something is wrong. Salary, $200,000. Sounds incredible, but after taxes and deductions, the number drops dramatically. You start adding expenses: the apartment, the car, the food, the travel, the subscriptions, the loans, and the credit card balance. One by one, the numbers pile up, and suddenly you see it. For 3 years, you've been earning a fortune, but you haven't been building wealth. You've only been funding a lifestyle. Your salary looked rich, but your bank account was. Your income was impressive, but your net worth was. This is when you realize something most people never understand. A high income doesn't make you wealthy. Keeping money does. The illusion of wealth fades and the truth becomes clear. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and grow. This realization marks a turning point in your financial journey. Next morning, you make a decision. Not a dramatic one. No extreme budgeting, no selling everything, no moving into a van. Just a few boring changes. You let the luxury lease expire and split a place with a roommate. You sell the expensive car and replace it with a reliable used Mazda. You set up one automatic investment transfer every payday before you can spend a dollar. You attack the credit card debt and create a plan for student loans. The changes are simple but powerful. Stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and start asking, "Is this worth delaying financial freedom?" This shift in mindset changes everything. Instead of focusing on what you can buy, you focus on what truly matters: your future, your freedom, and your security. The new questions guide your decisions, helping you prioritize long-term wealth over short-term gratification. It's a subtle but profound change that sets you on a new path. Months pass, then a year, then another. Something incredible happens. The same salary that once disappeared starts accumulating. Money begins staying, and investments begin growing. For the first time, your paycheck starts working for you instead of everyone else. The feeling of progress is real, and you see tangible results from your new habits. The journey toward wealth is no longer about earning more, but about keeping and growing what you earn. At the end of year 3, you open the spreadsheet again. This time, the numbers tell a different story: more than $58,000 saved and invested. Not because you earned more, but because you kept more. The transformation is clear, and the sense of accomplishment is strong. You realize that wealth is built through consistent, intentional actions, not just high income. The spreadsheet becomes a symbol of your progress and discipline. At spring, your mom comes to visit. The apartment is smaller than the one you used to show off. The car isn't impressive, and the furniture is basic. But after dinner, you open your brokerage account and hand her the phone. She stares at the number, then looks back at you and says something unforgettable. "Baby, the paycheck was never yours." You look confused, but she smiles and explains, "This is the first money you've ever actually kept." The moment is powerful, marking a new chapter in your financial story. Her words resonate deeply. For years, the paycheck was never truly yours. It always went to bills, expenses, and lifestyle upgrades. Now, for the first time, you're keeping money and building wealth. The lesson is clear: earning a high salary is not enough. True wealth comes from keeping and growing your money. This realization changes your perspective and motivates you to continue making smart financial choices. 20 years from now, the difference becomes enormous. The version of you that saved almost nothing is still dependent on every paycheck, still worried about layoffs, and still trapped. The version of you that invested consistently has options, freedom, security, and choices. The long-term impact of your decisions is clear, and the benefits of consistent saving and investing become undeniable. The future is shaped by the habits you build today. The version of you that saved almost nothing remains dependent on every paycheck, always worried about layoffs and financial instability. This trap keeps you from experiencing true freedom and security. The lesson is that relying solely on income, without saving and investing, leads to ongoing stress and vulnerability. Breaking free from this trap requires intentional action and a commitment to building wealth over time. The version of you that invested consistently enjoys options, freedom, and security. The habit of saving and investing creates opportunities and choices that were previously unavailable. The benefits of consistent investing compound over time, leading to a life that is not only comfortable but also empowered. The contrast between the two versions of yourself highlights the importance of financial discipline and long-term planning. Most people think wealth starts when your salary gets bigger, but wealth doesn't begin when you earn more. It begins when money finally stops leaving. The principle is simple yet profound. The direction of your money matters more than the amount. Building wealth requires keeping and growing your income, not just spending it. This principle guides your financial decisions and shapes your future. Salary was never the problem. It never is. The real issue is the direction of the money. High income can create the illusion of wealth, but without discipline and intentionality, it disappears just as quickly as it arrives. Understanding this truth empowers you to make better choices and prioritize long-term financial health over short-term gratification. The journey to wealth is about managing the flow of money, not just increasing your earnings. In the end, the $200,000 trap teaches a powerful lesson. High income does not equal wealth. True financial freedom comes from keeping and growing your money, not just earning it. The journey is filled with choices, habits, and mindset shifts that determine your future. By understanding the difference between income and wealth, you can break free from the trap and build a life of security, options, and lasting prosperity.